Hello everybody, it's Gary Hallican here, and I know I've said in some of my recent videos that I wouldn't be getting any more Eternals figures, right? But then I went to a different GameStop, and they were still having the 50% off all clearance items sale, and they happened to have Ikaris there, so I had to get him to go with the rest of my set. Ikaris does not come with one of the Build-A-Figure parts, even though he's in the Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh set here. If you saw in my previous video, I got all the other figures that came with the Build-A-Figure. So he doesn't come with one, but unfortunately that doesn't seem like that really affects his accessory count that much. He does have one accessory that's more interesting than what most of the other Eternals have, but he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff either. But anyway, so I got this one on deep clearance as well, and we'll see what we think of him, especially compared to all the other Eternals here. Packaging is the same as usual. The logo as well as a thick layer of dust on the top. All right, picture on the side, on the back, little blurb. Now, in my previous videos, I've talked a lot about how I think the pictures on the box of the Marvel Legends look less like the actors than the figures do. Well, this one's the opposite. To me, this picture on the box looks pretty much just like Richard Madden, right? I think that's his name. I know him better as Rob Stark, of course. But picture on the box looks pretty much just like him. Figure, not so much. So this one's opposite of what I've talked about before. But anyway, we'll get him out here and see what we think. Okay, so here is Ikaris out of the package, and aesthetically, there's some disappointment to be had here, I think. His costume is really intricate, lots of details, one of the more interesting looking costumes, and it comes in this really fantastic metallic blue. However, it suffers from the same thing that most of the other Eternals figures do, is that there aren't any other colors on it. So he's got blue and gold, so it's mostly metallic blue, and he's got lots of gold detail in here, and that's pretty much it. He does actually have different colored boots. I don't know how well you can see it there, but his boots are kind of a purple, more of a purple than the rest of his suit there. So he does have different colored boots. The big disappointment is on the back here. So if you turn him around, you'll see basically none of that gold detail continues onto the back. So there's plenty of spots where it could have had it in there, but doesn't have anything. On the head sculpt, again, to me, that doesn't look too much like the actor. I think in this case, the picture on the box actually looked more like him than the head sculpt on the figure, which again is not what I've seen with most of the Marvel Legends I've looked at, and indeed with most of the Eternals figures. So aesthetically, he's okay. I guess he looks enough like Ikaris from the movie. He's going to fit in fine with all of the other figures. So for articulation here, look up, not really very much at all. Look down some, a little bit. Head tilt. So, okay on that, on head tilt. Of course, turn side to side. Shoulders can go up that far, so straight out. Of course, all the way around at the shoulder. Like all of the men figures in the Eternals line, he has the bicep swivel. All of the women in the Eternals line just had the elbow swivel. He's got the bicep, but not the elbow. Elbow is okay, a little past 90 degrees. Wrists, of course, swivel and on a hinge. Just like that. Similarly to the other Eternals, he's got the joint at the chest. He's got better crunch forward than most of the other ones. Pretty good crunch back. Lean back. Most of the Eternals figures had pretty good lean back. Side to side a little bit. Pretty good side to side, actually. Twist. Again, not really anything we can do at the waist. Like all the other Eternals, he's got a skirt piece there. He may have a joint at the waist, but there's not really anything we can do with it. This may hinder his legs a little bit. We'll see here. Legs, if you pull it out to the side a little bit, it can go forward that far. You'll see it bending the skirt here. Goes out that far to the side, so that's one of the better ones, I think, for the Eternals. He has thigh cut here, swivel at the thigh. The knees on these have all been really good, so I expect that here too. Very good knee. And the foot goes down that far, up that far. Really good twist in on the foot. Really good twist out. So good ankles there. So about the same as all the other Eternals. We should be able to get some decent poses out of him. He's got fairly big feet compared to some other figures I've looked at recently. So hopefully that means he'll stand up better than some of the other ones I've looked at. There he goes. We're already having a better time getting him to stand up than some of the other ones I've looked at recently. So let's see his accessories next. Okay, so for accessories, he comes with 2 alternate hands. They're just these kind of open, relaxed hands here. See if we focus on them. There we go. So there's the left hand. Comes with fists on the figure. And there's the right hand. I guess these aren't exactly the same pose. These are a little bit different. Yeah, no, they're not. They're the same pose. There we go. So they're the same pose there. Switching hands is easy, of course, on these. There we go. So he's got his alternate open hand here. And then his other accessory, the most interesting one, is he comes with an alternate head. So his alternate head with him activating his eye blasts. So you can see that there. So that's pretty neat. Pretty exciting looking there. And activating his eye blast. It'd be good if he came with even more effect parts to do even more things like that. But we'll switch out the heads here. So the head just pops off pretty easy. And we'll snap on the alternate head. So there we go. So there he is with his alternate I-beam head. So that looks pretty cool. So that's all he's got for accessories. Again, no Build-A-Figure part with Ikaris here. But next we'll do some size comparisons. Okay, so for size comparisons, here is Ikaris with Cersei. All right, Marvel Legends Eternals Cersei. So they're going to look pretty good together there. All right, so they look pretty good together, pretty well in scale. Here is Druig, so we see one of the other Eternals with him. So of course all the Eternals are going to look pretty good together and all be in pretty good scale. Here he is with the McFarlane Toys Harley Quinn figure. So you see, of course, as you'd expect, the McFarlane DC figures are not in the same scale as these, right? She's much taller than any of the Marvel Legends. Here they are with a standard 12-ounce beverage can. So you can see how they compare to that. And here he is, as always, with John Cena. Right, so you tell me in the comments, who do you think would win the fight between Ikaris and John Cena? I don't know, maybe that would be a good way to end Marvel Phase 4, maybe. All right, so that's the Marvel Legends Ikaris figure. He's pretty good. He's kind of disappointing on the paint apps, right? He needs some more detail on his costume, but he's got the good accessory with the eye blast head sculpt there. So if you can find him on deep clearance, it's worth it to add to your Eternals set. Okay, so stay tuned for some dramatic poses, and we'll see you in the next review.